get to them as they come. Welcome to well, we got a new show. It's called I forgot the name of it. Buying, selling, and leasing cars from home. The mindset you want to have coming into your car transaction with us is 90% of it is done from home. And sometimes on a new car or a lease, 100% is going to be done from home. I don't ever suggest you test drive, you buy or lease a new car, even if it's new, without test driving it. You may have heard, or maybe you had an experience where you didn't drive a car, and then next thing you know, you're driving it 6 months after you bought it and you don't like it. That's a huge problem. So that's why I don't like 100% of your transaction being done from home. Let me put do not disturb on so I don't get calls. Hang on. But other than that, all the money you're going to save on your car transaction should be done from home. Romy McKenzie, good to see you. So our new schedule for our new show is going to be Monday through Thursday at 12 Eastern time. Mark your calendars. Many of you want to know, when am I actually live? Because if you don't know, we do a syndication. We do a rebroadcast. Because one, only a couple of you are going to make the live show. That's fine. But the information doesn't change. The information is just as good this evening you watching it as it would be if you were live. And what you'll find, we're going to answer so many questions on this show, you're going to find that somebody's probably going to ask the same question you would have asked, because many of you are in the exact same situation. Your situation is not unique. It's not unique. So let me know where you're watching from. I want to give you guys some, I want to let you know today is October 8th. This is our live show. We'll rebroadcast it. For the first couple shows that I do this again live, I want you to know when I'm live. I want you to know when I'm live. I want you to know if you're on a live show. And that way you could hey, okay, should I be watching and listening, or should I be asking a question right now? So if you right now, today is October 7th, 8th, you should be asking a question right now. And if you're not live with us, then just watch the rebroadcast, because like I said, 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to ask the same question you would have asked. So I got my man Dolan in the background moderating. We'll be on for about 90 minutes. We're going to get through as many things as we can get through. Firefox 1204, good to see you. TikTok, lighten up the likes and lighten up the chat. Appreciate you. What happened with you? I lost your perfil for over 2 months. I don't know what that means, Firefox. Let me know. I don't know what that means, but it's good to see you. All right, Dolan, bring in the first question or the first topic, and as we let the people type their questions in, we'll go over some more. All right, what are your after sale options when speaking with the finance manager? What products do they offer? Many times when you're going into the finance department, you're going in and you're scared because you don't know what to expect. Do I need the extended warranty? Do I need the service plan? They're going to offer key replacement. By law, they have to offer certain things. Now, what you want to do is you always want to have your transaction buttoned up price-wise before the finance department. If you bought the car, you should already have your loan in place. This is the things you want to be doing from home. When you find your car you're purchasing, you are locking up the price, always shopping for an out-the-door price, because an out-the-door price is going to include all taxes, all fees. So if I know that the out-the-door price with all taxes and fees is $40,000, that's now what I'm discussing with my bank. Hey, I'm getting a car. The total is going to be $40,000. You can decide with the bank whether you want to put money down. You can decide with them if you're going to, what you want your payment to be, how long you want your loan to be. This is before you enter the finance department. And then you should always give the dealer a chance to see, can you beat the rate that I got from my credit union? So if my credit union gave me 5.29, I want to give the dealer a chance to beat that rate. And if they can beat the rate, I'll give them the loan. If they can't, then then I'll stay with my credit union. But now once the loan's tied up, I'm getting ready to come pick up my car. I come pick up my car in the finance department. They're going to offer me an extended warranty. Do I need it? The thing that you need to gauge with extended warranties is two things. How likely is it something's going to break on this car? And when it breaks, if it breaks, how expensive is it to fix it? How likely is it going to break? And if it does break, how expensive is it to fix? So when you're going to Google the vehicle you're buying, repair cost. Google repair cost Volvo 2025. Google repair cost Mazda CX-5 2020. You're going to put that exact vehicle and you're going to see, can I get a gauge on if this vehicle is expensive to repair? Now, there's certain vehicles we already know are expensive to repair, like Mercedes, like BMW, import vehicles, imported parts. Cadillac is high on the list. You want to look at repair costs, because what an extended warranty is an insurance policy. It's an insurance policy you're going to pay up front to protect yourself if something goes wrong. If nothing goes wrong, then you lost the money. That's okay. That's insurance. I pay every day. I pay every month. I don't have an accident. Okay, I really didn't need it, but they require I have it. So extended warranties are just that, an insurance policy. So what you're analyzing is your risk. And if you get a Honda Accord or something with a low cost to repair and a low likelihood of things going wrong, then you're better off, instead of buying a warranty, you may be better off keeping that money in the bank and paying out of pocket if something does go wrong. But the first thing you want to consider is, what's my warranty on this car? What is my warranty on this car? Am I buying a car that has a 3-year bumper to bumper? Am I buying like a new Hyundai or a new Kia that has a 10-year warranty with a 5-year bumper to bumper? Like, what's my exposure? So you need to know before you buy any car, if it's a used car, what is my warranty on this car? This should be written on your buyer's order. What's my warranty? As is, 30 days, 3,000 miles, what's covered? Is it the engine, the powertrain? It is so important that you understand before you buy a $10, $30, $50,000 item or more, what's the warranty that it comes with? Well, it's a used car. You only get a 1-year warranty, and then the warranty is going to expire on this date. Perfect. From then, I can make the determination on if I need to extend the warranty based on what I have already. But again, it's going to come down to cost of repairs. Is this something that if something breaks on this car, it's going to cost me $2,000 to fix it? When I work for Mercedes, I would tell people who are buying a Mercedes, buy as much warranty as you can afford. You're buying a used one. You got a 2-year warranty left on this car. This is what's left. That's important. Again, know what's left. And then you're telling me you're going to keep this car 5, 6 years, 8 years. Then you should extend this thing out as much as you can. Go in there, buy the 3-year extension. Get it as long as you can, because that's going to pay for itself. Because if one thing breaks on this Mercedes and you don't have a warranty, it's going to cover the whole cost of the warranty. But if you're buying a Honda and you look and it has a very low likelihood that things are going to go wrong, or if it does go wrong, you could take it to your local mechanic and he can fix it, she can fix it for, a couple $100. This is what you're analyzing. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a warranty or $1,800 or $2,500, because I can actually just keep that money in the bank and actually just have that I'll self-insure. That's called self-insuring. So these are the things you're looking at. Service plans. They're going to offer you a service plan. Should I take the service plan? It's based on, do I save money taking the service plan? That's the only thing it's based off of. If you're not going to save money taking the service plan, then there's no point in you paying it up front. Well, now, again, going back to my situation at Mercedes, scenarios, hey, you can do the service out of pocket. You're on your own once a year. Do your service A, do your service B. It's going to cost you over 3 years about $1,200. But if you prepay it, we can sell it to you now for $800. Okay, that may be worth me doing. And if you are leasing, this is very important. If you're leasing, you may want to actually take the service plan, because it should residualize into the lease. This is going to be an insider tip. Everything we do here, you got to stay locked in. This is not casual games. We don't tell jokes here. We're trying to save financial lives. So you should be locked in, taking notes, or getting ready to replay this. A service plan in most cases is going to residualize into the lease. What does that mean? If the service plan's $800 and you put it into the lease, you don't pay the whole $800. You only pay, when you're leasing, a portion of whatever you're adding. So if you had a $2,000 sunroof, you're not paying the whole $2,000. So if somebody says to you, well, the sunroof is $2,000 and your lease is 36 months, so we divide that by 36 and it's going to cost you $70 extra a month to get that sunroof. That's not the way a lease works. I'm only paying a percentage of that. So to get that $2,000 sunroof, it should only cost me a percentage of the $2,000. Same thing with a service plan. Oftentimes you residualize it into the lease and it only costs you an extra 10, 12 bucks to put it into the lease. Again, different than if you purchase. These are the things you want to consider, but you're looking at these things separately than your car buying process. And you're not just saying yes or you're not just saying no. It's very important. Even gap insurance. That's one more thing that you're going to hear about in the finance department. If you're purchasing, if you didn't put a good amount of money down, you're financing pretty much the cost of the car, the taxes, the fees. The insurance company has something called an actual cash value, ACV. So you now just bought a $25,000 car, for example. You put it, your taxes are $2,000 extra. Your fees are another $1,000. So you say, I want to do no money down. I'm going to take the car and the fees and drive off no money down. That's okay. You're driving with a $28,000 loan and your car to the insurance may only be worth $25,000, which means, God forbid, you have an accident and your car gets totaled. Yes, the insurance is going to pay out the 25, but you owe 28, which means a bill is coming to you for $3,000. And this is what I call painful insult to injury, because it's nothing worse than losing your car in an accident and then you get a bill. So this is gap insurance. This is why when we teach these things, I teach all of this in my new digital book, Cars from Home. This is in step 6, which is in paperwork and protection. And if you actually just understand the simplicity of products being offered to me and how do I analyze if these things are of value to me, you'll make a great decision and you won't take gap insurance when you didn't need it. You won't not take it when you needed it. Wheel and tire insurance. Hey, if I'm buying a car and the tires look like this because I wanted the big 20-inch rims and I know that I live in a place where potholes are everywhere, I'm going to be going over things and this is how my tires are hitting this thing, and it's no wonder I get a flat tire every 2 months. So wheel and tire insurance for me is absolutely necessary because I'm going to go through 3 tires a year based on the car I drive and the rims that I have on that car and the streets where I live. Now, if I live in California and we don't get any potholes and I'm smooth sailing down, Rondeo Drive, then okay, I don't need tire and wheel insurance. I could have 22-inch rims, but I have smooth streets. So this is how we help you analyze these things so that you don't make a wrong decision after your good deal is already tied up. This is all in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can download it immediately. It's on sale now as part of our welcome offer for 75% off for the next 2 hours. Once that 2-hour timer hits, it does go back to $97. Again, this is in step 6. Before you go to pick up your car, I walk you through how to analyze every part of this based on your specific situation. So you can go get your book, click in my TikTok bio, there's a link, click in my Instagram bio, there's a link, or click on YouTube and Facebook in the comments. My man Dolan has a comment down there so you can get your book and you'll understand all of this. All right, we'll keep it going. I see we got a lot more questions coming in. We got Ibrahim. I see we got Ibrahim on TikTok. We got Nick on TikTok. We got Jenny on Facebook. Tierra on Facebook. A lot of people. I just bought your book. Love the information. I would like to lease my next car. As I'm searching, I noticed some dealerships ask for $2,000 to $4,000 down. Okay. All right. Let's go to this question. You guys can type your questions and we'll bring them onto the show. Dolan's, we're live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So just type your question and we'll bring it onto the show. I just bought your book. Love the information. Thank you. I would like to lease my next car. As I'm searching, I've noticed some dealerships ask for $2,000 to $4,000 down. Unfortunately, I appreciate you buying the book. You're not using it yet because there's never a portion in time where I'm telling you in the book to look for what dealerships offer or what they're advertising. I'm telling you how to customize your lease and tell the dealerships how you want want to be quoted. You do not go to any commercial and say, well, I see they want $3,000 down plus taxes and fees. All right, let me see what I can negotiate. No, when we actually reach out to a dealership using the strategies we use in Cars from Home, the digital book, we're actually emailing all dealers on their website, and we are giving them the template on how to give us an offer. First thing we want to know is, do they even have a car? Now, what you're going to see is as you reach out to 25 dealers, I show you how to do this in the book in 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. You're going to make contact with 25 dealers. Out of the 25, we like to see about 10 dealers have a match as far as your color, your option. As long as you're not looking for something too unique, you're going to see about 10 dealers have a match. Now, 80% of dealers do not want to sell online because they only want to quote in person, but half of them will quote you online, but they're not going to be your best offer. There's going to be, out of that 10, 4, they're not even going to give you an offer. That's perfectly normal. Again, this is the 80%. This system is for you to find the best dealer, the 20% who has the car you want out of these 25 dealers, and you're going to do this in a matter of 48 to 72 hours, in a couple minutes from home each day working this deal. So when you reach out on their website, you're using my template, telling them exactly what you want, seeing who has a match. Once you identify who has a match, you're actually sending our quote request, which is another template that you fill in the blanks, and you say, this is what I want, this is my situation, and we get all our lease offers, 12,000 miles a year, zero or only first month's payment due at signing, taxes and fees all in the payment. We tell them assume tier 1. This is a template. You're just filling in your information. This is what I do for a living. These are the cars that's in my household. They need to know that so they can see, do you qualify for any loyalty rebates? Do you qualify for any conquest rebates? They need to know your affiliations. Are you a Sam's Club member? Are you a Costco member? All of this. We fill in the template. You give that to them. If you send that out to 6, 7 dealers, 8 dealers, 10 dealers who have a match, you're going to see about 60% of them are going to give you an offer. And as you get the offers, we have a calculator that we built. It's a custom proprietary Cars from Home calculator. It's not on Google. It's in my book. And you put in all the offers, and then it'll tell you the one that's the best. And then it'll tell you what to counter offer. You send out your counter offers to see if anybody else wants to adjust their offer, even the best offer. And some people adjust their offer. Some people say, look, I already gave you my best. That's it. And there's going to be one clear winner. And it's based on how I told you to quote me. If I told you to quote me with a first payment due at signing, putting all my taxes and fees into the payment, that's how I'm going to be quoted. There's some people that's going to send you back an offer and say, hey, 3,000 down. We have a script. In my book, you have access to my scripts that I write so that we can actually have conversations with them by email where we say, hey, I actually mentioned to you to quote me with only first month's payment down. Please update it and send it back. And many of them will. The 80%, some of them won't, because the 80%'s job is to make your life harder because they want you to come into the dealership. That's what they want to do. They have people coming into the dealership. That's how they make their money. They're not interested in competing. They're interested in trying to get you in to close a deal now. We don't want that. So if you're using my book, and again, I appreciate you getting it, then you just follow it step by step. And when you get to the step on when we're reaching out to dealers, you're using my templates and my scripts so that you're having conversations by email and you're telling dealers how you want to be quoted on your terms. And it's going to be great. So if you want the book, download it. It's in my TikTok bio. Click the link. It's in my YouTube comments. Click the link. It's in the Facebook comments. You can get it for 75% off, and you won't pay the normal $97 price. Again, that's a great price, but if you get it for our welcome offer, it's $24. You got to get there in the next 2 hours before the timer comes. So I encourage you, just use the book. Stay on task. It's a step-by-step book. It's not a Bible. It's not a course. It's not a college course. It is a step-by-step. It's me telling you, do this first, then come back, do this now. Perfect. Come back now, do this now. And then when you get to step 7, I'm congratulating you as you get ready to pick up your car, or in some cases, it's going to be delivered. So grab your book, and I look forward to your success story. Matter of fact, let's go. Before we pull up the next question, Dolan, let me just go. I love when you guys write me. You email me. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube right now. So I know many of you don't know when we're always live, but today is October 8th, and we are live. We will rebroadcast this show because a lot of people miss it, and they're like, man, I was at work, and hey, I had to go back to work, and hey, I would love to watch it later. So we're going to always rebroadcast this. But we are now going to be live Monday through Thursday at 12 Eastern time until about 1:30 Eastern time. So if you want to catch us, mark your calendars. Make sure you join us on one of these 4 platforms, and we'll get you in. All right. But one of these let's go to Chris. Chris wrote me and he said, Deshone, thank you so much for these resources. I read your entire book last night and I've already been underway in trying to put my deal together. What a great book. I have my quotes together and now I'm ready to take the next step with the calculator. Again, we have 6 custom calculators that we invented, and you're not going to use them all. Some of them are for our used car processes. Some of them are, we have a lease counter offer calculator. We have a purchase counter offer calculator. We have a perfect budget calculator for those of you who are going to be purchasing, not leasing. It creates multiple goals for you so that you never go over your max. Many times you're going over your max budget because you go in shopping with your max in your head. Hey, I don't want to spend any more than $500 a month, $500 a month. That's what you focus on, $500 a month. And then you end up spending $575 or $650. You don't shop with your max in mind. So that's the perfect budget calculator. However, I see the lease calculators for 12,000 miles a year. Do you have something I could use for 15,000? That's a great question, Chris, and I already answered Chris, but I'll just tell you guys, we always shop with 12,000 because that's how we judge our lease deals. When you shop with 12,000, you'll see it's based on, we base all our lease deals on the 1% rule. The 1% rule has been around for a long time. I've been in the car business in and around it since 2006. Since 2006, when I was 22, I went to work for Pontiac, GMC, and Buick. The 1% rule I was already hearing about. I didn't understand it, but what it says is if your lease payment is 1% of the MSRP of the car, which is the sticker price, the window sticker price. So I'll pull up a window sticker to give you an example. This is a window sticker. As you can see, the total MSRP, including destination, is $33,685. That's what you want to be looking at, including destination, the total MSRP bottom line. If your lease payment is 1% of that price with no money down, you stole the car. Incredible deal. You don't have to worry that I overpay. It's a steal. So in this particular case, if I got offers on this Mustang and I got multiple offers and my lease payment came back at $336 roundabout, 1% lease, incredible value. I don't even have to wonder. Add up all the payments for 3 years and you'll see, wow, this is what it cost me to drive this car for 3 years. So that's the foundation of how we judge lease deals. Now, you're not going to always get a 1% lease deal because to get a 1% lease deal takes a combination of things. You have to save a lot of money off the price of the car that comes from the dealership. That's the discount. But more importantly, you need a great lease program from the bank that's actually making the car. So when you lease, you don't use your own bank. You must use the bank that makes the car or that's affiliated with the brand that makes the car. So if it's a Honda, you're using Honda Financial. If it's a Mercedes, you're using Mercedes-Benz Financial. If it's a Jeep, you may be using Chrysler Capital or sometimes they have other credit unions and sometimes they use Ally Bank, but it's going to come from them. So if you don't have a lot of support from the bank, a good residual value, a great money factor, which is the interest rate on the lease, any rebates and incentives, lease cash, then it's not going to be a 1% lease. 1% leases are for cars that they really want to move. Maybe there's too many of them that they ordered. Maybe like, hey, well, for whatever the reason, that's okay. But 1% lease deals should not be how you go in looking to get a lease. You should be basing it from 1 to 1.5. 1.5. The reason I had to create the 1.5% rule is because I saw many people, they didn't know what a bad lease deal was. Above 1.5%, you're paying too much money for a car you're giving back in 3 years. That's the rule. Add up all the payments. You're paying more than the natural depreciation of the car for a car you're giving back. So every lease deal is not created the same. If you're looking for a great lease deal, that's different than looking for a car that you love and you're like, I want to lease this thing. If you're looking for an Audi Q8, all right, maybe when you get all your offers, it's a great lease deal. It comes in at 1.3. Perfect. Maybe they don't have a lot of lease support behind it. You get a bunch of offers. One deal is giving you a big discount and it comes in at 1.5. That's the best offer. You see other offers for 1.6, 1.8, 2%. Like, those are the greedy dealers. The 80% are always going to be higher. That's why we get at least 5 offers. So now, if 1% is the absolute best offer on a car, that just means it doesn't have a lot of lease support. The dealer could be giving you $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 off the price of the car, a huge discount. But Audi is not giving you a lot of incentives to lease this car. That's okay. You decide, do I really want this Q8? If so, I'll take the 1.5% lease. I'm good with that. It's in my budget. But if you're somebody who, it's only 2 types of lease customers. You either want to actually get this vehicle, and if I could get it to 1.5, I'm taking it. Or you're somebody more like me. There's no right or wrong. I'm going to look for cars specifically that I can get a 1% lease or 1.1% lease. That's why, I mean, that's what I do. I've been driving Infinities for a while. I'll wait for the specific car. It's more about which car. There's always a car out here that you can get a 1% lease on, always. But you have to be flexible. If you're like, hey, I'm locked in on that Range Rover Velar, okay, then maybe 1.5% is going to be the best, or 1.4. That's okay. But what you don't want to do, what I'm never going to promote you do, even if you could afford it, is sign a lease over 1.5% because you like the car. Oh, I'm going to take this 1.6% lease because I like the car. You're paying too much. You could do what you want to do. You're an adult, but you're paying too much. And you're falling in love with a car that in 2.5 years, you're going to have to think about, what's my next car anyway? 2.5 years. You're driving a brand new car, 2026, 2025, 2026, and in 2.5 years, you're going, okay, my lease is up in 6 months. What's my next car? So to overpay for something, that just doesn't make sense to me. So that's how we judge these things, and hopefully that helps. Again, I lay all of this out. That's step 3 in my book. It's called deal structure. This is deal structure. You want this laid out so that you understand what a good lease deal is. What is a great lease deal? What is a bad lease deal? How do I budget for a lease before I go shop for it? All of this is laid out in step 3 in my book. It's a digital book, so you can download it. It'll be in your inbox by the time we end the show. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get it in my TikTok bio. There's a link. There's a link in my Instagram bio. There's a link in my YouTube and Facebook comments, and it's 75% off as part of our launch offer for the next 2 hours. So you won't pay the normal $97 price. You'll get all of this for $24. And this is the book that keeps giving. A lot of these people you're going to see me share, they've already gotten 2-3 cars with me. This has been out. We've been teaching the Cars from Home system since 2021. So a lot of these people, when you see somebody like Sheree, she's on her 4th car. She's gotten 2 used cars. She's gotten 2 pre-owned cars. This is Trey. Look, I obtained my 3rd graduate degree. When you use the Cars from Home system and you get your car, we call you a graduate. Trey's an alumni. Look, I've obtained my 3rd graduate degree. My son was in the market for a new 2025 Blazer EV. I started sending the emails in the wee hours on a Tuesday morning. He lives in El Paso, Texas. Emailed about 25 to 30 dealers, got 8 offers. Beautiful. Closed the deal 2 days later. Don't think you got to be, oh, Deshone, is this going to take hours of my time? No, this is going to take minutes for you to save thousands of dollars using our system because you're doing this from home. Close the deal in 2 days with actually the closest dealership, which is rare. Most of the time, the closest dealerships are usually expensive. They don't usually win, but in this case, they won. The MSRP was $55,985. They accepted the counter offer using the calculator. He used our calculator. Closed the lease at $560 a month. Only first month's payment due at signing. My first graduation was 2.5 years ago. I leased at 1.5%. Then I got my daughter a lease in October at 1.3%, and now my son's lease is 1%. Thanks, Deshone the Auto Advisor. Thanks to you, Trey. You did the work. You deserve the success. Thank you for trusting the process, and it's great to hear your success story. So this is what you'll have in my book. Download your copy. It'll be in your inbox by the time the show's over, and you'll just keep saving money on cars for the rest of your life. Your friends, your family, everybody. All right. We are live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Scotty P, good to see you. Patricia, good to see you. Soup the Trucker, thank you to everybody giving gifts on TikTok. Unpop, Ops. All right, a lot of people checking in. Good to see you. Dre House on YouTube. Good to see you, brother. Tierra Gross. Oh, I'm sorry. These lights are in my eye. Tierra Ghost. I'm a new licensed auto. Let's bring up some of these questions. We got a lot of people with questions. Jeannie, I see a lot of people. Dolan, just pick one. I can't see the people on Instagram right now. We are live. It's October 8th. Our new show, this is called Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars from Home. We will be live every Monday through Thursday, 12 Eastern time to about 1:30. So if you want to meet us live, meet us live. And if you want, if you couldn't catch the whole live, just watch the replay. I think the replay is going to be just as good as the live show. All right. And somebody's most likely going to ask the same question you would have had. Should you trade your old car in for a new one? This is a question of wants and needs. You have to consider the replacement cost. It's easy to say, yes, my car's breaking down, my car's old, should I replace it? But you want to consider that you could pay a local mechanic. I am an advocate on having a local mechanic that you can trust. You can ask around, ask friends and family, ask social media. Who's the mechanic that everybody loves, that everybody in this town knows? They've been here 10, 15 years, great reputation. This is who you want. And when you actually have an issue, you can actually get a price from them. How much would it cost me to replace this head gasket? How much is it going to cost me to replace an engine? And they'll tell you. You want a mechanic that deals with used parts, salvage parts. I mean, when I say salvage parts, I mean they can get you a used engine from the salvage yard. They can get you a used transmission, because my father had a vehicle he had bought. He bought it used. It was a GMC Envoy, and he bought it 3 years old, and then he had it for about 4 years. The engine went on him. So the engine went, and then he could have replaced the car. He could have just went and got a new car, but he went to his mechanic. His mechanic got him a $2,000 engine, charged him $2,500 total, $500 to drop the engine in. That car drove for another 6 years, and then that car, he actually sold it. Sold it to a friend, a family member who's still driving it. Phenomenal car. Had he just dumped the car when the engine went, he would have lost almost 10 years of value, and then he would have been into a new payment. Cost of replacement is always going to be much higher than the cost to repair. So you want to consider that. Can I spend $1,000 to keep this car driving for the next year? Even if it costs you $2,000. But if your local mechanic tells you, if you put $2,000 into this car, this thing's going to drive for another 2 years on you. It's a great car. You don't need a new car. You drop the $2,000 in, because when you get a new car, you're going to spend $2,000 in less than 3 to 4 months. Even if you get a low car payment, $300 a month, $200 a month, it doesn't matter. Add it up. 10 months, 12 months, you spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So again, this is what you want to consider, and it depends on your goals. If your goal is, man, I want to treat myself, I want a new car, just realize it's a want, it's not a need. If you have a car right now, your option is always, what will it cost me to repair this car, keep it running, and or versus getting a new car, because the cost difference is going to be, it's not going to be anywhere near each other. Okay? And if you choose to get a new car, you definitely want to use my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships, so you can get a below market deal. There's only 3 prices you can pay for each car. Every car has 3 prices. Market value, that's what most people pay. Above market value, that's what people with no skills pay. Negotiators will pay market value. They don't even know they're paying market value. But below market value is reserved for the people who are going to make dealers compete, who are going to create competition, get multiple offers so that they know they got the best offer, because they can see 4, 5, 6 other offers that are higher than the one they accepted. This is how we buy everything else. This is the Cars from Home system. So you can download my digital book. It's going to lay all of this out for you step by step, and you can get it for 75% off. It's normally $97, worth every penny. But for our welcome offer, you can get it for $24 if you get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, my YouTube comments or Facebook comments, and you click that link that Dolan's putting down there for you. You get it for $24 for the next 2 hours, all right? And when you look at Marie used our book. She saved $13,000. I want to say that's the biggest success story anybody's written to me about the book. I appreciate it. So I continue to keep your email you wrote to me. Just wanted to reach out and thank you. Use the guide. I saved over $13,000 off MSRP, got my payment to be hundreds lower per month, and maintenance included with no money down. Just wanted to say thank you. 2025 GLC Coupe, fully loaded. Some of you have this car. Did you save $13,000? That's the question. So we appreciate you, Marie. If you didn't save $13,000 off that particular car, then that wasn't the below market offer. All right. I see you, Dre House. Shout out to Dre House on YouTube. And thank you to everybody who's sharing the broadcast. I know sharing is a lost art unless you're telling jokes. But one of the things we want to do is we want to save people from financial ruin. People are making horrible car deals and they think that it's normal. We're out here winning. We've been winning since 2021. Winning. Below market car deals, saving thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, people who have no skills or who just are hoping they can get a good deal are out here and they're struggling. They're saying, hey, there's no deals out here. Car dealers are overpriced. That's just that reality, and that's the result you get when you don't have skills and you don't have a strategy. You can't expect to save. You know, this is a heavy transaction. $10, $15, $80,000. Some of you are buying luxury cars for $100,000, $50,000 vehicles. You can't expect to successfully navigate this without a strategy, winging it. That just doesn't happen. So we invite you to change the way you shop for cars, and we'd love to be a part of helping you do that. All right, Soup the Trucker, Patricia, thank you. Is my microphone too loud? Hold on, let me see. Testing. All right, I think that's... All right, let's go. We good. Next question, Dolan. I see we got a lot of them. Fabiola, thank you so much. Got the #3 gifted badge on TikTok. Patricia got the #2 gifted badge. Soup the Trucker, #2 gifted badge. Unpop Ops, good to see you. Chepo, good to see you. A lot of people checking in on TikTok. All right, let's go, Dolan. Pull up the next one. Mr. January checking in on TikTok. I'm a new licensed auto dealer. What do I need to know to be successful? Talk to other auto dealers that are successful. I wouldn't know what to teach you concerning being a car dealer. That's not what I teach. I focus on teaching the public. So, but there's tons of car dealers out here. Get in a network. Find out the ones that are successful. Learn from them. Bell, Dre House, how do you calculate the 101% lease deal? This is how we judge a good lease, a bad lease, a great lease. You need to have these percentages in mind. You're going to take the MSRP of the car. This is what the sticker price is. Again, I'm going to pull up the window sticker so you can see this is what a window sticker looks like. Every time you are leasing a new car. You're not leasing a used car. You're leasing a new model car. You're usually 99 times out of 100 the first driver, first owner. This is what so you're going to have a window sticker. You're going to look at this MSRP when you're configuring your car. Some of you are on gmc.com and you're seeing, okay, I want this option. I want that package. I want the convenience package. And then you're going to get a actual MSRP. You're going to take 1% of that number, and that would be a steal. But I don't recommend you shop for cars like this, because you want to use 1.25% more often than not. 1.25% is a great lease deal. In order to get 1.25%, you need to actually have a great discount from a dealership. You need to have really good incentives. You need to have really good a money factor, a lease program. All of this it goes in, but the good thing about what we teach and how we teach you to shop is you only have to concern yourself with 2 numbers when you're shopping for your leases. 2 numbers, that's it. MSRP and monthly payment. Now, it's important that you are getting your lease quotes 12,000 miles per year with only first month's payment due at signing. Only first month's payment due at signing. If you're using my digital book, Cars from Home, we have the templates in, so you're sending it to the dealers, and they see they're only quoting you in the way we tell them. But first month's payment due at signing, taxes and fees, you want them to be in the payment. So you do not want to look at lease offers and they're saying, okay, it's $490 plus your tax. No, we have scripts where you write them back. Hey, I asked, could you put the lease, the taxes and fees into the payment? Perfect. And then they'll send it back correct. Now, if you are looking at the MSRP and the monthly payment offer, you're going to divide the monthly payment into the MSRP, and then you're going to multiply that by 100. Now, again, in my book, I have a calculator that you just put the lease offers in, and it tells you what the best is. But if you're doing this manually, that's no problem. I create calculators for people because everyone's not good with math. Everyone doesn't like math, but it's really simple. You're going to take the MSRP of the car you're looking at. Let's just say, for example, it's $33,000. And then you're going to divide the monthly payment that you got. Let's say they offer you $450 a month on this $33,500 car. So we would simply take $430. Let's just use $450. $450 a month they offered you on a $33,500 car. $450 divided into $33,500 is 0.013. You multiply that by 100. So divide the monthly payment into the MSRP times 100. And what do we have here? We have that offer being 1.34%. So that $450 a month on a $33,000 car would be 1.34%. And now, if you are shopping other offers the way I teach, the way you should be, you should have multiple offers. One's 1.3, one's 1.4, one's 1.5, one's 1.6. So you got all these offers, and now you focus on the lowest one. Again, we have a calculator because you never want to accept an offer without countering, even if it's good. It's been times I'm looking at lease offers. I'm like, this is incredible. 1% already, 1.1% already. You might be compelled to just accept it. We always send a counter offer out. And again, our calculator does this. We have a calculator in my digital book, Cars from Home. And then you're going to counter and see, does anyone else have any more money? But the calculation is based on monthly payment and MSRP. That's all I need to know. Are all my taxes and fees in? Yes, they are. Perfect. Is it for 12,000 miles per year? Yes, it is. Perfect. Now I judge my lease. Now, for those of you who need 15,000 miles per year or 20,000 miles a year, or you're like Deshone, I drive less. I could do 10,000 miles per year. You're always going to shop with 12. And then once you identify who's the winning dealer, who's the best, then you do you tell that dealer, hey, now perfect. I'm looking forward to doing business with you. Thank you so much. You've been so helpful. You made it easy to shop from home. Perfect. Can you tell me what the payment is if I go 15,000 miles? And then they'll send you. If you go 15,000 miles, it goes up by $29. Okay, perfect. If you go 10,000 instead of 12, it goes down by $20. Okay, perfect. So you're going to identify your best deal. Then you're going to go and adjust your lease with that actual dealer. You may want to put money down, lower your payment some more. You do all of that with the winning dealer. But you're shopping with a template, because when you shop with a template, dozens of dealers can submit offers to you, and then it'll be easy for you to actually judge those offers based on all of you submitting the same way. You can't submit me an offer for 3,000 down. This dealer submits me an offer for 5,000 down. This dealer submits me an offer for only first payment, no money down. And then all of your MSRPs are different. You have a $42,000 MSRP. You have a $42,800 MSRP because it has all weather mats in it, and you don't think you're going to be confused trying to judge all these offers. The best thing is we've had people over and over who judge offers over and over like this, and they use our formula. This is Patrice. Patrice, just second-time graduate. Again, we've been doing this for 4 years now. So a lot of you who've watched our live shows, you saw people getting one car, too. Now, lately, you're going to start seeing a lot of our people getting their second, third, fourth cars. That's how much they've moved with our system. And, you know, you got to ask yourself, wow, we got people that saved saved on 2, 3, 4 cars with Deshone, and I still haven't even started using the Cars from Home system yet. You know, give yourself a nudge here. So Patrice, second-time graduate, MSRP is $34,400, 2025 Kia K5 GT line she got, $491, no money down, got the red interior premium package. Look, and here's what she said. Program paid for itself. So any investment to learn the Cars from Home system, it pays for itself after the first deal. Again, you saw Marie, she got my book. She saved $13,000 her first car. $24 book, or maybe she didn't get the welcome offer. Maybe she paid $97. She saved $13,000. So these are the things. This is the gift that keeps on giving. When you learn the Cars from Home system, you learn it once. And you learn it by doing it. I walk you through how to do it. It's not a college course where you study and then you go take a test. It's literally do this first, step 1, move to step 2, now do this, and then when we get to step 7, you're picking up your car. But this is and when you see these pictures, these are people who have joined. Instead of my book, they like videos and they wanted to be coached by me, and that's the Shop with Deshone video checklist. So again, same information, same system. Some people just like do it yourself. Deshone, give me the play, give me the guide, give me the steps, and I'm gonna go and I'm a score. Perfect. That's the digital book, Cars from Home. Some people are like, Deshone, can you do it with me? Walk me through the steps. I'd rather have videos, short 3-minute, 4-minute videos telling me what to do. And then I get a community. We have a community with over 1,700 people in it, our private Facebook group. So you can ask questions to people like Sheree and Trey and Rosalie who've gotten 2, 3, 4 cars. And you also get me in there. And then we do coaching calls twice a month. So again, it's all about how you prefer to learn. But either way, this is a quick system. It's for busy people. It's for people who don't want to be spending hours on their car shopping. They don't want to be spending more than, I don't want to be in a dealership at all. I'm there to test drive and go. If that's you, you're going to love the Cars from Home system. So you can get it in my book, 75% off, next 2 hours. It's in my it's in my TikTok bio. Click that link. It's in my Instagram bio. It's in the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments. And you'll have all the strategies you need to win. Everything we're talking about here, you won't even have to remember it because you'll have the playbook. Good to see you, Bussin'. Good to see you, Elsa Garcia. A lot of people checking in on TikTok. Great to see you, Pesos. Shout out to the sharers. Thank you to everybody who continue to like and share these broadcasts. It does make a difference. We cannot grow. We cannot reach more people. We cannot help people. We can't change this industry without you. Every time you tell a friend, hey, go watch this guy. Every time you send this broadcast out to somebody, it matters. And, and I don't take it lightly. We appreciate you. All right. We're going to be live moving forward Monday through Thursday for about 90 minutes from 12 p.m. until about 1:30 p.m. So if you want to meet us live, that's when we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Mark your calendars. We'll be live, but we will rebroadcast the show throughout the day because what we find is many people get almost the same or the same value that they get watching the replay as they'll get seeing us live. But again, some of you who are like, Deshone, I want to meet you live Monday through Thursday. I think I said Friday, but Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be here. Got my man Dolan moderating in the background. We'll try to bring in all your questions. All right, but we are live now. It's October 8th. And let's get busy. Next question, Dolan, what we got? How can I buy a car in cash? Every time I throw a cash offer, suddenly fees rise by $5,000. Well, this is a very, very common question because it goes from old school car buying that is now in a modern world. So old school was I go in with cash and the dealership was usually holding the paper. They gave me the loan. So it was in-house financing. When you paid your car payment, you paid it to a dealership. Some of you may be familiar with buy here, pay here dealerships. That is the origination of how getting cash and making a cash offer really made, it was attractive because the dealership didn't have to wait 2 years to get all their money. They can get it all up front. But now what ends up happening is every bank is using a wired system of wiring money and funds within sometimes I think as quick as 24, 48 hours. Once the dealership gives them all the paperwork, the funds are wired. The money is in the bank. The money is in the dealership's bank. They're not waiting. What happens is you're now paying the loan through the bank. It's between you and the bank, which is why some people might say when they can't afford their car, you may have heard it, hey, I'm going to just drop the car back at the dealership. The dealership is out of it. That's not their car anymore. It's the bank's car. So when you go in and you make a cash offer, you're actually making the dealer less money because when the bank, let's say a dealership is advertising a car for $25,000. You come in or you are calling from home like you should be doing on a used car. You verify, hey, I saw this car you're asking 25,000. Are there any fees? You verify this, whatever. You make sure that it's not a gimmick, it's not a fake 24,000, and when you get there they're going to charge 26 and all of that. You do all of that, you show up, you're like, hey, I like this car, can you take off another, $1,500, because you're already the best price on the internet. They say, all right, we can take off $1,500 if you finance with us. That's common for some now, and it's like, wait, why do I have to finance with you? Because if I'm going to take a short deal on the new car that I'm selling you, I'm making less profit. I can make it back, some of it, by giving you a loan. The bank is going to pay us for giving you a loan. This is why in Cars from Home, we teach you to separate the transactions. We teach you the 3 pillars of great car deals: who you buy your car from, who you get your loan from, who you sell your old car to, not trade. So once you actually once you see that there's money in the loan, you're seeing that when you say to the dealer, I'm not going to give you the money in the loan, it affects the other deal, because, well, the only way we can give you more money off there is we thought we would make another 1,000 on the loan. We thought we would make another $800 on the loan. So if you're telling us that you're not going to give us the loan, then it can affect the price you're going to pay. I don't like that. I don't like dealers who do this, especially if what I say when they offer is, I say, look, well, here's the fair thing. I usually get a loan from my credit union or my bank. If you can beat it, I'll give you the money. I'll give you the loan. Now, let's just say they come back and they say, we can't beat it, but we can match it. Your credit union is giving you 4.2. We can match that. All right, perfect. You got the business. But I'm not going to pay you 4.9 and then my credit union's giving me 4.19 just because you want to strong arm me into the loan. This is, again, why all of this should be done from home. But the days of us getting better offers with cash are over, except in one rare scenario. In one rare scenario, you're going to see situations where you can choose between a rebate and a low interest rate. General Motors tends to do this a lot. They'll say, we'll give you a $4,000 rebate, or we'll give you 0% financing for 60 months. But you can't combine them. In those cases, it's much better for you to take the $4,000 rebate. This is only on new cars too. So again, this is not going to apply 95% of the time. Take the $4,000 rebate, take the cash offer. But if you are shopping for a car online, especially a used car, and they say, well, in order to get this price, you can't pay cash, I'm usually going to have other cars that I'm looking for, because that may not be the best used car at the end of the day. That may not be the best offer at the end of the day. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, we just had a scenario where a person had 4.9 from their credit, from the dealership. Acura is actually running it. And then their credit union was giving them 4.5. Here's the difference. They have $1,000 that they were going to change the price if you didn't finance with them. So if you don't finance with us, price goes up by 1,000. You have to measure that. Is it better for me to take the 1,000 additional price off and then pay 4.9, or is it better for me to not take the 1,000 and then do 4.5? And we actually have a new calculator we're about to release. You could do this. This is an affordability calculator, but you're just judging. Again, these are things that when you wonder, why am I not getting all the money? Why do I leave feeling like I didn't know what I was doing? This is why. When I'm walking you through these things in my book, I'm walking you through them step by step. When you get to the situation, when you've locked up your car and it's time to choose our loan, I'm walking you through that. Because if you skip that, if you think, well, this is not important, then you're going to miss the money in the loan. So I don't invite you to these shows, and I don't invite you to get a book, a digital book, so we don't have to mail it. It gets updated. Anything that changes in the market, we update it for you to not save thousands of dollars. This is not about hundreds. This is not about, okay, Deshone, am I going to go through this? All right, you're saying I'm going to save tons of time. I'm going to be able to get transactions done in quicker than one visit to the dealership, couple minutes a day from home. Perfect. But how much money can I save? Thousands. Thousands. Everyone who knows me in New Jersey knows what I'm about. Before I came to start teaching, my friends and family and customers would tell, hey, John told me to call you before I do anything. Not even buying a Mercedes, because they know I'm about all the money. But in order to be about all the money, you got to learn new strategies. You got to do a different process, and you take it step by step. All right, so that's the name of the game. Cash is not king anymore, and unfortunately, that's not a popular opinion. You'll hear Dave Ramsey saying, hey, we still go in, I offer cash. They think they're winning because, and it's a lot of car salesmen that I know that are on here. I appreciate you tapping in. I appreciate you listening. Here's what we know. There's a ton of people who will walk in and say, I'm paying cash. What can you do for me? If you're a car salesman, the worst thing you can say to that customer is, well, you don't get a better price for paying cash. Oh man, this guy lying. Oh man, this girl lying. She gonna say I don't get a better price for paying cash. So what you're going to find, if you were in the car business, you'll find it's a psychological game where we make you think you got a better deal because we just didn't want to lose your business. We didn't want to lose your business. So we'll go to the manager and be like, all right, well, what's the price? $40,500. All right, well, this guy says he's paying cash and he just really wants to hear that he's getting a better deal. You know, all right. Hey, all right, good news, Mr. Johnson. All right, listen, I talked to the manager, told him you're paying cash. Listen, he said, look, all right, he's paying cash. All right, make him an offer. We'll do $39,000 for him. All right, you got a deal. That's a psychology win. That's not an actual win. Another person could have came in and said, hey, I'm not paying cash. I'm getting a loan. Can you do $39,000? Hey, I'll go in. Hey, congratulations, Miss Johnson. You got the car. How much are you going to put down on the loan and all of that? You're going to get the same price that he got paying cash. So this is old, bad information. There's so much bad information that your parents, unfortunately, they're not ill-intentioned. Your uncles have taught you over the years that it's not helping you. It's actually hurting you. And in order for you to save all the money, we have to teach you you got to unlearn that. That's why that's why you always see unlearn, relearn. Because I found 4 years ago when I started teaching you how to really save money, the people that were winning were willing to dump all the bad information they learned and just learn from me. You're like, okay, Deshone, you talk about leasing. People told me don't lease, but let me learn about this. Winning. People, hey, you know, all the videos, a lot of the videos you see from me, it's stuff that, wait, I that's contrary to what I heard. Unlearn what you heard and test what I'm telling you. Okay? That's the name of the game. Next question. Let's go, Dolans. Keep this thing rolling. Good to see you, Daniela. Royal King just got the #3 gifter badge on TikTok. Pesos for us. Good to see you. Daniela Vargas. Good to see you. Elsa Garcia. Good to see you. A lot of people checking in. How are the EV leases this month? You got to see. EV leases are always, until they clear out the remaining inventory, going to be incredible values. Now, if you can adjust your lifestyle to driving an electric vehicle, there is no better value in the market now than to lease one. Do not buy these vehicles. Why? You don't know where the bottom is. An electric vehicle that had a market value of $40,000 9 months ago probably has a market value, same exact car, brand new, market value of $30, $25 today. Because what happened was we had the future being promoted as electric. We had an administration who for years said the future's electric. The future's electric. We're putting money into electric. The infrastructure is going into electric. 2033, by 2035, we have a mandate. We want 50% of new cars sold to be electric. So manufacturers and people, private businesses begin to invest in electric because this is going to be the future. Soon as we got a new administration that doesn't have the same, they don't hold electric to as high of a standard, the legislation changed and the value for the future became maybe electric's going to be okay, but doesn't sound like we're too invested in it. Therefore, people ain't really thinking about it. When people heard electric, all right, eventually I'm going to get me an electric car. It's going to be an adjustment, but this is the future. This is where it's going. So I'm going to get one eventually. That creates pent up demand. That creates future value. That's all off the table now. That's all off the table. So people now who were holding electric cars, again, when the legislation changed, when the administration changed, literally electric cars went from being worth this to 20, 30, 50% less. This is why you cannot buy them. You don't know where the bottom is. But what you will do, if you want incredible value, is shop multiple electric vehicle leases. Multiple electric vehicle leases, and the value is just incredible. Let me throw a couple out here that people who listen to us have got. This is Sean. Last year he saved a huge amount of money, $20,000 off of his F-150 XLT Lightning. Now, if you would have, some of you might have got excited over a $5,000-$10,000 discount. Sean shopped multiple offers using the Cars from Home system, ended up getting a car over $20,000 off of MSRP. This is Val. She just leased an electric Kia. What is this? Well, let me just read. Grateful to Deshone the Auto Advisor and the community as the proud lessor of this 2025 beauty, paying 1.16% monthly for a $51,300 electric car is pretty sweet. So this is, I think this is, it's an Ioniq. It's an Ioniq, 1.1%. Let's see. Here's another couple EV leases. Hold on. Here we go. Here's my other. Hold on. I thought I had Zafrina. Zafrina just leased her second deal. All right. I'll get some for the next time. Anytime you're leasing an electric vehicle right now, you as you see rebates change, you have to shop them from month to month. $7,500 rebate went away. Tax credit went away. How's that going to change? We don't know. All we know is manufacturers have so many electric cars that they built that because they thought the demand was going to be there. And they're going to sit on these cars until they're all gone. And then what's most likely going to happen for the next model year is they're going to make less of them. And even when those come, they don't know how soft the market is going to be. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to give these away. And this is how we used to get 1% lease deals all the time on several cars. Who remembers walking into a dealership and you went behind the dealership and they just had like 500 cars? Type me in the comments if you remember ever visiting a new car dealer and you walked behind that dealership and you just saw 500 cars, like it just was rows and rows and rows of cars. That's how it used to happen before the pandemic. People were just ordering cars and then they end up having to give them away, huge rebates because they overproduced. We're going to continue to see electric vehicles decline in value. And as long as they're continuing to decline in value, we should have phenomenal lease offers on them. So when Val got hers at 1.1%, you should not be getting an electric vehicle that doesn't start with a 1.1 max. That should be the max you pay. Like on a normal lease, the max we would ever pay is going to be 1.5. 1.5 is going to be the max you'd ever pay on a regular lease. With an electric lease, 1.1 should be the max. Because we're seeing offers for 0.88, we're seeing offers for 0.9. We're seeing too many great offers to actually pay anything higher than 1.1. 1.2%, never pay on an electric lease. 1.3, no way. I don't care what it is. The demand's not there. The market's not there. You're paying too much for these cars. So again, but you have to choose one and then you shop it. That's what you do. If you get at least 5 offers, because the numbers are going to be so different. If you don't get 5 offers, there's so much room that a dealer has to play with in an electric car. They might have $15,000 to $25,000 of room, because the manufacturer knows we have to help them get rid of these cars. So between what's in the car, the rebates, any back end incentives that may come from the government, they might have 15 to 25,000. That's why when I showed you Sean's deal, I wanted to show you him saving $20,000, $22,000 was because he got multiple offers. He could have got excited when a dealer offered him 10,000. You think there wouldn't have been a dealer that would have said, hey, I'll give you 10,000 off this thing? Some people would say, man, 10,000, that sounds like a great deal. But if you don't have other offers to see that 10,000 is not a great deal, it's a bad deal, then you're going to overpay and take the bad deal. So that's why we have to find the below market deals, and that's how we do it with multiple offers. That's the only way to do it, especially with every car you must do it. But with these electric vehicles, there is so much room for dealers to move. If you don't have multiple offers, you are going to overpay by $100, $200, $300 a month, and you still think you won. You drive off thinking you won, not realizing somebody who's using our stuff is paying $300 a month less than you for the same car. Right? All of this is in my digital book. I walk you through our lease system, which is called the 25 to 5 system. I show you how to reach out to 25 dealers in 15 to 20 minutes from home. You do this from home. I give you all my templates that you fill in. You send it to the dealers with what you want, and then you get to use my scripts to respond to them by email so that you can actually do everything by email for your new car or your lease. And you get our calculators, our Cars from Home calculators, where you can actually just put in all the offers the dealers give you, and it's going to tell you which one's the best. It's going to tell you, here's how much you should counter offer them. And then you send out those counter offers. We also have the scripts you use to send the counter offers, and everything is done right from home. You save 5, 20, 30,000. Some of you, I got tired. I'm never going to get tired of showing you Milligan, but some of y'all are like, yo, I know he's thinking about Milligan. She saved $29,000 off of her Mercedes EQE last year. I don't think I've had anyone use our stuff that saved more than that. Again, electric vehicle, but almost $30,000 off is insane. But you're going to get, you're going to have, when you drive off in your car, we want you driving off knowing there was no dealer within 100, 200 miles of me that would have made me a better offer because I saw the whole market. And that's what the Cars from Home book, digital book, is going to teach you to do. So you can download it. Dolan has a link for you in the TikTok, in my TikTok bio, in my TikTok Instagram. Click that link. And then YouTube, Facebook comments. Click that link for Deshaun's book. It's 75% off for the next 2 hours. Once the timer hits 0, and if you visited already and you saw that timer started already, then once it hits 0, the book is $97. And again, it's worth every penny. We've had tons of people, hundreds of people, if not thousands, buy it for $97. But $24 is better than $97. That's just simple math. All right, let's go, Dolan. Let's keep it going. We got time for a couple more questions, so we're going to keep this thing going as long as we can. All right, Tiara in the building. Good to see you. Is it better to buy new or used? This is a matter of budget and values. I teach you in the Cars from Home book how to determine, can I get everything that I need in my budget? If you can afford a new car and get everything you need in your budget, then you have to ask yourself, do I get the new car? Because if I could afford a new one, will I save more money getting a used version? Yes, you will. But this comes down to values. Am I a person who's like, I only get a new car every 10 years, so I'm going to treat myself to a new car? I could afford it comfortably, new car. Or am I somebody who I value even more savings? Yes, I could afford the new car, but I want to knock 20, 30% off the price, and I'll get a pre-owned version. That's values. There's no right or wrong there. Now, in the case of a person who looks and can't afford everything they want and need, hey, I want a Lexus with this package on it, and I have $40,000 to spend. Well, the Lexus you want, it's $52,000. So therefore, my budget does not allow me to get a new version with everything I want and need for my budget. So that decision's made for you. That's why I said the decision of new and used comes down to two things: budget and values. Your budget can make the decision for you. But once you know you could afford either option, then it's a matter of values. What you don't want to do, and I want to warn you, what you do not want to do is lower your needs to get your wants. When I worked at Mercedes, a person came into the dealership and said, I need a 3-row vehicle because I have 4 children. No problem. We went, we picked out one, we prepared a proposal for her. She saw it. It was above her budget. She said, what about the smaller Mercedes? She asked about the smaller one that doesn't have a 3rd row. I said, didn't you tell me that you needed the 3rd row because you have 4 children? She said, yes. I said, so the 2-row vehicle is not an option. And she went and she looked at another car. And if she might have went down the road and looked at another Mercedes dealer, that wouldn't be, because I'm not going to let you buy a 2-row vehicle and you told me you need 3 rows. Maybe somebody else will, but it's not going to be me. So this is changing your needs, ignoring your needs to get your wants. We don't want to do that. So let your budget determine whether you can afford to get everything you need in a new vehicle. And then if you can, you choose, do I want to save 20, 30, 40% off the price and get a pre-owned one, or do I want to treat myself to a new one? This is step 4 of my book. It's called Shopping, Not Buying, where I help you make a decision on these things. But more than that, I'm walking you through, if you decide you're going to go use, okay, you're going to use our multiple marketplace strategy to shop online for used cars like you shop on Amazon, and we're going to teach you how to screen it down. If you decide you're going to go new, you're going to use our 25 to 5 system to shop cars online, email dealers from home to find your best value, to find your below market deal. All of this is in Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book, so you don't have to wait for me to mail it. You don't have to worry about, oh, this book needs to be updated. It's digital, so if something changes in the market, I go in, we update the master file, you open the master file, and it's updated. So we continue to do this. We don't have to, oh, Vroom went out of business beginning of last year. Had we not been pushing a digital book, you would have not been, it wouldn't have been applicable. You'd have been saying, oh, Vroom's out of business, but it's still in this book because this book's in my library. Nope, with a digital book, we update it right away so that the information's always current. So you can grab your copy in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, my YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Click that link that says deshonsbook.com, and you can get it for 75% off for our launch offer. But after that timer hits 0, the price will be $97. Worth every penny. You don't have to worry about remembering any of this stuff we're going over, because we have tons of people on here. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and we're going to have questions about leasing. We're going to have questions about used cars. We're going to have questions about new cars. We're going to have questions about loans. We're going to have questions about trade-ins. All of this is not going to be applicable to you, but in that book, you're going to have a path for anybody. Whether you're a used car, new car, high mileage drivers, you're in a negative equity situation, how do I get out of that? All of that is in there step by step. So go grab your copy if you want to save the money that you should be saving. Okay, many of you driving off of dealerships with buyer's remorse. It's very sad, but you have to admit that. You have to be willing to admit. The people that come to us, that come to me and get the most value out of what I do, they're willing to admit they're upset they've lost money. There's so many people I've talked to in 3 years. It's like, Deshone, I've been watching your videos, and one thing I know, man, I got a bad lease deal. Man, one thing I know, man, I gave the dealership my trade-in, and I gave them the loan, and I gave them the car, man. I gave them all the transactions. I didn't shop none of them. They're willing to admit, man, I know I lost a lot of money, but I'm done losing money. And then they go forward with the Cars from Home system, and they go forward in empowerment. When you go forward and you're willing to change, we got the rest. We got the rest. And it doesn't matter what situation you're in. Okay, shout out to Courtney. Courtney said, well, graduated this weekend, purchased our first new car ever, put $1,000 down to hold the vehicle Saturday afternoon, went to pick it up in the evening. The dealership we ended up going with made the best, easiest, quickest process, little over a 2-hour drive away, but well worth it. That's when we know we won. Some of you, you've written me, you DM me, Deshone, man, I just used the stuff, man. I thank you, bro. I had to drive an hour and a half to get the car, but it was worth it. Soon as you tell me you had to drive to pick up your car, I know you used our stuff. Because if people, the local dealers think they own you. So they don't expect you. In fact, NADA tells us as car salesmen, when I was a car salesman, we knew customers only going to shop no more than 2 dealers. That's the statistics. So you only got to beat one person. And if you're really good, you'll keep them from going to that second person because they don't really want to go to them anyway. They want to buy from the first person they walk into. So dealers know this. Dealers know the psychology that you don't know. So they oftentimes are never expecting you to shop their competition 45 minutes away, an hour away, hour and a half away. We teach you how to do this in minutes from home. So yes, while I'm talking to my local dealers, everybody has an opportunity to compete, but I'm also talking to your competition in the next state. And I'll go pick up my car 2 hours away because I'm going to buy my car from who gives me the best offer. And then I'll bring it to your service department and y'all can change my oil and change my brakes and my brake fluid. I'll service the car with you because you're the most convenient. But I'm going to buy the car from who made me the best offer. That's what we teach you in Cars from Home. All right. Good to see you, Tish. Got the #1 gifted badge on TikTok. Good to see you, C5 checking in. Slack checking in. J Mace checking in. Good to see you. All right, let's go to the next question, Dolan. We are live. It's October 8th. We are going to be live Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to about 1:30 Eastern time. We started a little late today because this is our first live back. But Monday through Thursday, mark your calendars if you want to meet us here live. Today is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Wednesday, October 8th. We will rebroadcast this show because what we find is people get a lot of value out of watching the replays. Most of the time, somebody's going to ask the same question that you would have asked. So we will rebroadcast these all through the weekend. Wait, why did my camera freeze? My fault, y'all. We're streaming right now, and I know I have great bandwidth. I got to check this out because I don't like being frozen. I don't know why. I don't know what's causing that, Dolan. We're going to try to do another 15 minutes. We're going to do another 15 minutes, but we don't usually have problems with our stream. So I'll check that out after. Anyway, let's go. I have 9 months left on my lease. Bought the book a while now. I have to do the work. Correct. What I find is there's two types of people that use the Cars from Home systems, whether you are using our book or whether you're using the Shop with Deshone video checklist. 2 people approach it in different ways. One approaches it as if it's a college course. Like, I'm about to teach you everything about cars and get ready to learn. And in fact, there's going to be some pop quizzes in there and some tests. And if you don't pass those quizzes, you won't be able to move to the next question. That is not the way it works. The Cars from Home 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships book, digital book, is set up like you having phone calls with me or Zoom calls with me. If you were having Zoom calls with me, the first thing we would do is talk about the 8-year rule. My first question to you is, how many years are you going to keep the next car? How many years are you going to keep the next car? I want you guys to put this in the chat. For your next car that you're buying, how many years are you going to keep it? If it's less than 8, you should be shopping for a below market lease. You should be shopping for a lease because you're going to save more money with a below market lease than you will purchasing. You're going to lose in depreciation if you purchase. You're going to lose in resale value if you purchase. You're going to have negative equity if many of you take these 6-7 year loans and you then go to resell them or try to trade out of them in 2-3 years. You're going to have negative equity. Unless you throw a ton of money down, 10, 15 grand, you're going to have negative equity. And if you put that money down, you won't even get that money back when you go to replace the car. This is the first question I'm going to ask you on a Zoom call. The only difference is we're talking about it in the book. First question. Now, once you decide, hey, if you're keeping your next car 8 years, go down this path, the purchase path. And in my book, I teach you, I have links that they're like warp zones. Who's played Mario Brothers? You remember the warp zones? That's the way I have the book set up. I have it where it says, if you're keeping your next car 8 years or more, you should be purchasing. Click here for the purchase path. You click, it warps you to the purchase path. If you're keeping it less than 8 years, click here, it goes to the lease path. When you get to the lease path, hey, if you have good credit and if your credit score is in this range, click here. If your credit is in this range, you're not going to qualify for a lease. Click here, and we're going to go down the less than perfect credit path. So you're not reading things that don't apply to you. But what you need to do is realize this is a checklist. This is a checklist. This is not something you're absorbing all the information and then going, this is you. If I hopped on the phone with you and what you should be doing if you're going to lease again, because that's step one. Step one is we're deciding whether we're going to buy or lease based on the 8-year rule. That's it. Now, you might say, Deshone, I already know I'm going to lease again because I don't keep my cars more than 8 years. Perfect. Step one's done. See how quick that was? So we're looking most of the time and you're like, Deshone, how long do some of these steps take? Some of these steps take 3 seconds. How many years you keep in the next car? 4? I'm getting another lease. Perfect. Step one's done. Let's go to step 2 now. You have an existing lease. We need to do an equity assessment on that. So if we were on a Zoom call and I said, go on these websites, put your vehicle information in, get the offers, and then call your bank, call the leasing company and see how much you owe, get your payoff. Boom. You wouldn't be like, all right, what do I do after that? Right? You wouldn't say, okay, Deshone, what do I do after that? Right? You would just go do that. That's the 2 types of people that use the Cars from Home system. One will look at me, say, go on the websites, put your information in, and then once you get that, take those offers down, then go to the next step. They'll go right to the next step. They want to read the whole book, and then they want to start. That becomes overwhelming because now they're seeing all the steps, and then they're not like, they haven't done a step. That's not the way I would, and again, it just takes you longer. But I wouldn't advise you to do that. I advise you to go right in, do 1 step at a time. Boom, did my equity assessment, Deshone, done. All right, now let's move to step 3, deal structure. Let's budget for your next lease. Let's budget for your next new car. Perfect. Now we got our budget in line. You just used the perfect budget calculator. You have your 6 goals. Yes, now I got my 6 goals, Deshone. Now I know I could get my next car from anywhere from $22,300. I used your perfect budget calculator. I could get my next car between $22,300 all the way up to $34,800, and that's going to, all of those is in my budget. Perfect. Now let's move on to step 4, shopping, not buying. You see what I'm saying? It's an action step. It's action. It's getting you, I'm giving you the 7 steps that you need to do action-wise, and then when you get to step 6, you've already made your deal. We're doing paperwork. Hey, here's what you're going to see when you go into the finance department. They're going to offer you extended warranty, tire and wheel insurance, all of these things. And then step 7, we're congratulating you because, hey, you did it. You did the work. You're getting ready to pick up your car. Here's what to expect. Make sure you get the WIO when you pick up your car. There's only 2 pieces of paperwork that you really want to have. Checklist. So if you approach it that way, not overwhelmed, you're going to win just like people continue to win using our stuff quickly. You'll be making these deals super quick. This is Griff. Griff wrote me, just want to let you know your package worked, $48,000 MSRP, no money down, $622 a month. Look, Rosalie, 3 cars. Deshone, listen, big shout out to Deshone for making these deals happen. You actually made them happen, Rosalie, but thank you. Nissan Rogue, MSRP, $36,640, $399 a month, got a 1% lease deal. Mazda CX-30, she had 3 cars. She had to get 3 cars. Some of you know Rosalie. I've talked about it because she's gotten 4 cars with us since last year using the Cars from Home system. Mazda CX-30 Sport. She had to get 3 cars for her sons. $28,200 MSRP. She's paying $339 a month. No money down. Mazda CX-50. $40,000 MSRP. $420. No money down. 1% lease. And the cherry on top, she sold 2 leases. She sold 2 of her sons' old leases. And she put $6,737 in equity in her pocket, in their pocket. Who didn't know that you can sell a lease? Be honest. Tom, see, this is the honesty place right here. If you're one of those people, you're like, Deshone, what does she mean she sold the lease? I didn't even know you could sell a lease. Who didn't know you could sell a lease? Type me. Who didn't know? So if you didn't know you could sell a lease, how much money do you think that's cost you? Now, every lease doesn't have equity. But before you move to your next car, before you turn in your lease, you should absolutely be shopping. And again, I want to tell y'all something. We get very busy here. The people who win here stay by their keyboards. Stay by their keyboards because they're dialoguing. You're not going to get as much out of what we do here passively. Again, that's like taking in information but taking no action on the information. But the people who are commenting, I see you, Sweet Tea. The people who you're echoing. Okay, hang on. Okay, AJ the East said they're getting an echo on TikTok. And we're getting an echo on TikTok? Let me know. Let me know. How's the audio on the, well, I know we got the Shure microphone here, so I don't think we got, Kimberly, you didn't know. Didn't know I could sell a lease. So here's the thing. Okay, that must be you, AJ the East, because everybody said there's no echo. So anyway, thank you to East TX Truck. Got the #2 gifted badge on TikTok. Appreciate you. So again, what you don't know is what's hurting you. Not knowing I can make my car deal from home. That's hurting you. Not knowing, yo, who was taught leases are horrible? I never leased. I heard Dave Ramsey say leasing is the most expensive way to own a car. Man, if I could get 10 minutes on stage with Dave Ramsey, and shout out to Dave. He does a great job teaching you how to get out of debt, teaching you how to invest in the stock market. But here's the thing. When I was with Pontiac, I was fortunate that I worked in a very white collar and blue collar county, very rich county, white collar, blue collar. So I had people that made $40,000-$50,000 a year. I had people made $40,000-$50,000 a month. Wall Street people, traders, very, very brilliant people. I would sit down with them and I would ask them, hey, I noticed you lease. And I start looking at some of the money and I start looking at some of the lease deals. And when they got a good lease deal, problem is Dave Ramsey doesn't understand what a good or great or elite steal of a lease deal is. He just looks and says, well, leases, you got to put $7,000 down and then you're going to pay this. That's more than if you bought the car. Understood. If that's what you, again, what you don't know hurts you. If you don't know that, hey, I'm paying $499 for a $55,000 truck right now, $499. Gave him $1,200, got a $55,000 Infinity truck. Look at Rosalie paying $330 a month, paying 1% lease on a $35,000 car. If you don't know how to get a below market lease, then yes, you're just judging it on bad lease deals. Then it makes no sense. But these people would sit down, get these good lease deals, and they would tell me, listen, I always lease because my payments stay low. I don't have to worry about repairs. It's predictable. I get brand new cars, and those low payments allow me to invest the difference into the stock market. I have extra disposable income to invest in the stock market. If I go and I have to buy a car for $500 a month or $400 a month, that's only going to get me $15,000 to $25,000 of car. And then on top of that, my warranty went. So now I got to have a little cushion because I don't have a warranty. So I got to make sure I put aside $1,000 or $1,500 a year to make sure if anything goes wrong, I'm okay because I don't have a warranty. I don't want to be blindsided. I don't have an emergency fund and something breaks on my car. So, all right, it's costing me to buy. But once the car is paid off, now I have that money. So if you were paying $500 a month to buy, after 5 years, car's paid off, now you can start to invest. You can put that extra disposable income away. You still need to put away that emergency fund. You still need to keep that money to the side for maintenance. But if you would have leased that same car instead of paying $500, you could have paid $250, $300 a month. So what's the difference in the 200 or what's the difference between 500 and 300? $200 a month. So what happens if I have 5 years, a 5-year head start to take $200 a month and invest it into the markets? I got $200 extra in disposable income because I'm leasing a car, and I got extra disposable income. I'll invest that. This is what these people did. This is where I learned about why people didn't pay cash. Why did they take the low interest rate? They would ask, hey, here's all of this stuff. So again, I continue to say what you don't know is what's hurting you. Listening to people who hey man, I'm an expert, man, on car buying. How many cars how many car transactions you've been in? Man, I probably done bought 20 cars in my life. You're not an expert. Buying 20 cars does not make you an expert. Seeing thousands of car transactions, that makes you an expert. Seeing people buy a car, don't put money down. All right, where's that person going to be in 3 years? Seeing, oh, negative equity. What's the cause? Seeing the long-term effects of a bad lease deal. Seeing a person who gets a lease, doesn't get enough mileage because they're trying to save $30 a month, so they get 10,000 miles a year instead of 12, and then they end up paying penalties. All of these things is what makes you an expert in cars, not you bought 20 cars in your life. So it's these people that are leasing, that are giving you the bad advice that really owe you the money. And when you start using what we teach, you're going to go back to some of these people and you're going to realize, hey, Unc, I love you, but everything you taught me about cars is wrong. I love you. It wasn't ill intention, but all of this stuff you teach, they'll have you in there. You're doing a no money down loan and you're sitting there about to sign the paperwork with the finance manager, no money down. And, you know, the uncle's sitting there telling you, just say no. She don't want any of that stuff. Well, I really think, listen, just hear me out. I really think she should get gap insurance. She don't want it. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want it. She paid for the car, sign it up. Your uncle's ruining you. You drive off right now in that car, you have an accident, you didn't get gap insurance because he didn't even let the person tell you about the, now, okay, you get a $3,000, $5,000 bill. Wait, my car was totaled. How did I get a $3,000, $5,000 bill? Well, you didn't have gap insurance. These people are hurting you. And that's why I work so hard to penetrate, you know, to tell you the bad news so that you can stop listening, stop listening to these people who, unfortunately, they just don't know what they're talking about. So, all right, we got some more time. Ryan Phillips, good to see you. Rebel Ramon, good to see you. Let's go. I mean, we got questions coming from everywhere. So let me get back. We got a couple more minutes. I'll get through as many as I can. Is it possible to sell a lease without a title? Well, if you're leasing the car, it's not usually titled to you. Depends on what state you're in. It usually belongs to the leasing company. But again, it goes different from state to state. In New Jersey, leases are titled to the leasing company. When you look on the registration, leasing company. In New York, it's titled to you. You're on the registration. But if you lease, you can sell it. Here's what you do. Leasing, you call your bank, you ask for the payoff. You ask for the payoff. This is what I owe, $27,400. Perfect. Now, that's a customer payoff. There's a customer payoff. There's a dealer payoff. They're not always the same. They're not always different. It's complex, so I'm not going to get into the dealer payoff because sometimes they won't give it to you. And sometimes it is the same as your payoff. But all you need to know is the payoff. Give me the payoff, and then you're going to get offers from CarMax, Carvana, KBB, Instant Cash Offer, Driveway, AutoNation, Car Gurus. And what you're going to put on there when they say, is it owned, leased, or financed, you're going to put owned. Because sometimes they have their website set up where so many people years ago was trying to come in and sell leases and they didn't understand a third-party restriction. So they were bringing Driveway and Carvana these cars that they couldn't buy because they had a third-party restriction. And so what they did is they kind of just flagged their system to where we don't want any leases right now. But what we do is we put no, because once we actually get there with the car, if they're the best offer, they'll just call Mercedes-Benz or Chase or Toyota, and Toyota will be like, they know, oh, it's a Toyota, we can buy that. They know it's a Chase lease, we can buy that. It's a Chrysler Capital lease, we can buy it. At the time of this video, there are certain leases that don't have third-party restrictions, and there's some that do. So when you get your payoff, that's also the question you want to ask. Do I have a third-party restriction? In the event that you have a third-party restriction, you're still going to get the 6 offers I just mentioned, and you're trying to see, do I have equity? So if I get those 6 offers and I see that my payoff from my bank was 27, but my offers are, 31. Somebody's offering me 31. Then that means I have equity. Now it's about how am I going to get it out? I can get it out by going and if I have a third-party restriction, then I need to call local dealers, because a third-party restriction means you can only sell to a dealer that makes the brand. So if you have a Mercedes, you can only sell to Mercedes. If you have a Nissan, you can only sell to a Nissan dealer. But with the Cars from Home system, we're still getting bids. and I teach you how to talk to used car managers, because the good thing about talking to used car managers is they don't care about selling you a car. They're there to buy cars. That is one of their jobs. It's one of their biggest responsibilities, is to buy quality pre-owned cars for their dealerships. So when we're having conversations with them, we're getting offers from them, seeing who will make us the best offer if we have equity. If you do your numbers and you don't have equity, you owe 27,000, all of the offers are 22, 23, 24, way below what you owe. You don't have equity. You stay put. You don't break that contract, because it's going to be penalties. But if you have equity and you have a third-party restriction, we walk you through our third-party restriction system, where we sell to a used car manager, get our equity out, and a local dealership cuts us the check. If you do not have a third-party restriction, then you're free to sell to Carvana or Driveway or Auto, anyone you want to sell to. Now, we teach you how to time your transaction, because this is a bid. You're like, well, I got equity in my current car, but I need another car to replace that car. Perfect. Once you know you have equity, you can actually shop earlier. If you do not have equity in your lease, you don't want to start shopping until after you make your last lease payment. You don't want to break your contract, because you're going to pay penalties. You're going to, all of those payments that you think go away, that the dealerships used to tell you, well, if you turn in your car early, we'll take care of all of these payments. We'll take care of the mileage. No, they don't. It rolls over to your next car. So once you understand that, you'll see I'm not getting out of my lease early, because all I'm going to do is pay more for impatience. If I wait, I'll get a much better deal, because I don't have any baggage. So what having equity in your lease allows you to do is get out of your lease early. You have the option to get out of your lease early. So if I have 3,000-4,000 of equity, I can start shopping right now, start shopping offers. If I like the offers, I can actually take advantage of them now. And then I'll go pick up my new car, and then I'll go sell my old car to the person who made me the highest offer, Carvana, Driveway, or what have you. So that's what we're doing, because we're bidding out everything. We're getting bids for the car we're going to buy or lease, and we're getting bids for the car we're going to sell. And now those two people are not going to be the same. We're buying from the lowest bidder, we're selling to the highest bidder of our old car, and we're doing it either a day after each other. We've had tons of people who go sell their car and then go pick up the new car same day or the next day, and they win. We teach you exactly how to do this in my digital book, Cars from Home. It's 5-star rated. Thank you to everyone who's rated the book on goodreads.com. You want to read some of those reviews, they're there. People have taken the time. Thank you for, taking the time to write your review and what the book means to you. But it's a digital book, so it'll be in your inbox in a matter of seconds. You can get it for 75% off, and you're going to learn our entire 7-step to how you get to your car deals step by step. It's literally the best checklist on car buying that you can get. And you can get it for 75% off in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. And you'll have it to use for the rest of your life, because until dealers change, we're not going to change the book. Literally, we'll update some things, but as long as the car market is the same, I've been using these strategies since 2015. The car market has not changed. We've just refined the strategies. We made them better, and we made them more streamlined. We've created calculators. There's 6 calculators in there that you'll see whether you're buying a new car, used car, or a lease, or you'll see different calculators for different things. So that cuts down time. And this is how we're able to get deals and save thousands of dollars in minutes. 1% lease, the American Seniors Benefits Guide. I wanted to share my experience. I purchased my car 2 days after watching the videos. The first day I sent out the templates. Again, everything's templated, so you don't have to come up. You never have to worry about what am I going to say. Is Deshone going to leave me in a situation where I have to remember what he said? Nope. We have templates, emails, scripts. All you're doing is copying and pasting. You do need to be able to use a computer. If you can't use a computer, our system is not for you. That's the only people we cannot help. Some of you are not technologically savvy. You don't have to be an expert, but you do need to be able to check emails, copy and paste, visit websites in order to have this work for you. It's an online shopping system. On day 2, I emailed for my numbers, took the best offer, put them into the counter offer calculators, then emailed them to ask about the counters, closed the deal. The dealer MSRP was $36,365. In closing, I really didn't need it, a cheaper build. I end up closing on a $36,365 with discounts and rebates down to $32,561 a month. Final payment is $400, which is a 1.1% lease. So he started out at 561 initially, and what you're going to see is in those initial offers that you get, some of them are going to be higher once you put them into the counter offer calculator. Any great negotiator knows, and you can't negotiate your way to these deals. You have to bid your way to them, but we never will accept an offer without a counter. So as you can see, he put the offers into the counter offer calculator, sent it out, ended up getting it down to $400 a month. That's a 1.1% lease. He said, believe in the system works. This is the same thing you're going to learn, same results you're going to have. He's handling all of this from home. You can see, he'll tell you, he's no spring chicken. You can see in that picture of him, he's more of an older gentleman, white-haired gentleman, and he's sitting here on his computer, and he saved thousands of dollars from home. This is empowered car shopping. The industry has programmed you to be okay with buyer's remorse. They've programmed you to be okay making a $50,000 decision, $30,000 decision, and you drive off and you don't feel good about it. You wouldn't accept this from any other industry. You wouldn't do this with houses. You wouldn't do this with anything else. But the auto industry, billion-dollar industry, has programmed you to be okay driving off in a car and you have a weird feeling in your stomach. You don't feel like, you don't have the confidence of, did you get a good deal? This is what we change. Everybody who uses the Cars from Home system is empowered. This is an empowerment system where we change the action. And as you change your action and you see, now you're going to shop for cars the way you shop for everything else. Everything else in life you get bids for. When you go into the grocery store, you're getting multiple offers, multiple options. If you want to take a vacation, book a hotel room, you're on multiple websites. You're seeing different hotels. What you now are going to see is the same Nissan dealers have the same prices. The Nissan dealer up the road has the option. They want you to think it's one price, like the Apple store. No matter where you go, it's the same price. It's the total opposite. This isn't the Apple store. This Nissan dealer will sell a car for $400 a month. This Nissan dealer will sell a car for $300 a month. Same exact car. Deshone, what's the difference? 80% of dealers are greedy. If there's 8 Toyota dealers on the block, only one of them are going to be better than everyone. The other 80% depend on you coming in, not shopping their competition so they can charge you whatever they want. They take off a little money for you, make you think you won, but you don't realize that their competition would have took off a lot of money because you never visited them. So we don't want you visiting, going in your car, driving from place to visit these dealers. We want you sitting at home, using your computer, and letting these dealers come to you, letting these banks come to you, making your deals from home, and all I'm doing is showing up at the dealership. My paperwork is ready. My car is ready. Let me sign and go home. Had a great time, and I know there was no dealer within 100, 200 miles of me that would have made me a better offer because I talked to them all. In email, using Deshone scripts, using the Cars from Home scripts, I talked to every dealer within 100 miles, and this one's the best, and I'm driving an hour to pick it up. That's the Cars from Home system. So we'll be back every single Monday through Thursday. We're here. Everything we talked about today is in my digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off as part of our welcome offer. It's in my TikTok bio. There's a website in my bio. You click it. There's a website in my Instagram bio. Click it. YouTube comments or Facebook comments, click below. Get it for 75% off. That means you'll have everything we teach for $24. And I can tell you this, I got a lot of books in my library. There's only a few books that I can say that have returned me real money. Real money. This will be one of the most valuable books you own. Again, you saw Marie save $13,000 off of her Mercedes. You're seeing people that are saving thousands and thousands of dollars. When you're buying your car or leasing, if you don't see a $5,000 difference from your best offer to your worst offer, you didn't shop right. You didn't find the 80%. You didn't expose the 80%. Because what you're going to see using what we teach is you're going to see a spread. When you're getting lease offers, you're going to see your best lease offer is if it's $425, your worst lease offer for the same vehicle is going to be $625, $575. That's how the 80% works. When you're using our used car shopping system, you'll see used cars that have $5,000 difference in value when you find out what the new car price is. You should always know what a new car price is. If you don't know what the price of a car was when it was new, then you don't know how much you're actually saving buying it used. and it should be a $3,000 to $5,000 difference minimum from some of the other used cars. This is how we get below market deals. This is how you know it. And I walk you through this step by step. We'll be back. Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, 12 noon. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We're live on all four. So thank you to everybody who showed up. Mark your calendars. See us live. And if you couldn't catch the whole show, we'll rebroadcast the replay for the rest of the day so you can catch up on what you missed. We went over a lot, and we'll be back. We'll see you on the next show. Mark your calendars. Monday through Thursday, 12 noon Eastern Time, buying, selling, and leasing cars from home. Thanks, everybody.